All right. Enough of me. Let's hear from you. What are your segments, the songs, the things you did great this weekend? Something you're excited about? Anything. Let's get some
All
positive
right.
shares going on so we can start our week off with some good vibing.
I found I have a family member that stays 2 minutes away from me, and I just met him for the first time.
A new family member 2 minutes away. That's awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
Networking is not really my strength. And I was at a party this weekend and I tried doing it reluctantly. And I ended up talking to this lady, and I didn't know anybody at this party. I talked to her, and she ended up being kind of famous. She she is the first woman to do the 24-hour Le Mans, first U.S. American to do the 24-hour Le Mans, and then she was also the first woman to win, I guess, U.S. first woman to win, I guess, U.S. road competitions. So
Men's
it's really
paint.
nice to meet in San Diego, in the United States.
Is that
Her
Lynn?
name's Margie Smith Haas.
Oh, Margie Smith Haas.
Yeah, Mark.
So yeah, the first woman to race the 24 hours at Le Mans, not even the US. First American, so that's fantastic.
First, yeah, yeah. So that's who I chose.
The one person you went after, right?
Right.
If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly bear, girl. I love it. Good job.
Yeah. Like you.
What a great connect. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
All right, the rest of you silent speakers that hide behind no cameras.
I have a closing that was supposed to happen on March 26th, finally going to happen today.
Is that the one from the divorce?
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Hey, great job staying in that one 2 months later, but that's been a hell of a climb, man. I'm proud of you for staying in it.
thanks.
I
Caitlin, what you got?
bare oh, I barely closed my deal on Friday, but I did get it done, even though they didn't fix the roof.
Still?
Yeah, no, and the all the seller would do was give a $500 credit. So it was like 3 o'clock on Friday, and I took the rest out of my commission. It was like 1,300 that I had to take out, but it neither of them were budging, and I wasn't about to let it fall through. So, but we recorded on Friday, so we're all done. Thank God.
Good job taking the tough cut on that one.
Yeah.
I hate hearing it, but I've done it
Yeah.
myself. Sometimes you got to do what's best for your clients, and it's painful. It sucks. But
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
it.
It was annoying, but like I knew it was the only thing that was going to get it done. So I was like, okay, whatever.
What? Shake my head. I just shake my head. And that's a $500,000 house that we're fighting over $1,300 on.
And exactly. And a roof that's supposed to be recoated 3 times. And like at the very least of it, you should be calling the roofer out here. I'll go out there with him, but I think it was just, I don't know. At that point, I was just beating my head on a brick wall. And yeah.
Well, that kind of leans into what I want to talk about. But before I do, I'd like to hear from you. What are the shares? What are the stories? What are the great things? This is a fantastic opportunity for you to get out there. And this is communion. If you guys don't know, this is you connecting with your community and raising yourself up. This isn't just for me to collect the great stories of the agents across the Southwest. It's about you guys connecting on a real level, showing that shit happens in every neighborhood. So find ways to make it win. So Caitlin, great job. Jason, great job. Joanne, great job. Audra, congrats on new family member. Anyone ever felt like giving up? Right? We all have. We all have. It's one of the things that I struggle the most with. I'm not a quitter, probably to my detriment. I don't let go of things that I should probably let go of because of that I don't quit mentality. But it's also helped me become successful because real estate doesn't beat you. Quitting does. I believe that in life and in real estate along those terms is you can't fail. You can only give up. Because just like in life, the only way to fail is to stop showing up. It's to stop moving forward. It's to stop learning. It's to stop adjusting. It's to stop finding a way to make it work. So Jason's talking about a deal that was supposed to close 2 months ago that has hit every possible pain in the ass roadblock you possibly can. Lawyers, courts, documents, sellers, buyers, everybody. The only person that didn't have a problem during this closing were the 2 agents. But he didn't give up. I'm sure at times he threw his hands up and said, I don't know what to do. What else can I do? I've done everything I can think of. What else can I possibly do? Well, if you're willing to just show up, if you're willing to find a way, then success is only the end of that recipe. You put the ingredients in the right pot, you stir them the right amount of times, you stay in it just long enough, you're going to make shit happen. Because failure is not final, it's feedback. Pushback isn't the end of something, it's an opportunity to reestablish your footing. If
I
any,
did sacrifice a lot on that.
Okay.
I said I did sacrifice a lot on that one. I had the ex-wife go to the courts in person, and then she said that I had to take her to lunch, so I took her to lunch. I'm allergic to onions, peppers, beans, and anything spicy, so I sacrificed and took her to a Mexican restaurant, which was horrible for me, but I did it.
I mean, Mexican food, damn, dude. You're allergic to Mexican food. And you're married to a Filipino. Spices, man. Spices. Sucks. I want you to look at this, though, is you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to cut. You're going to have to change. You're going to have to move. You're going to have to adopt. But don't ever give up. Lessons from an 8-year-old. I mean, it used to be lessons from a 7-year-old, but Stone's birthday was a couple weeks ago. So it's lessons from an 8-year-old. Is if you always look in the same spots and it's never there, why do you continue to look in that spot? This morning, my son was needing his water bottle. Daddy, I can't find my water bottle. I was like, have you looked for it? Yeah, I looked here. Where else? Nowhere. I couldn't find it, so I stopped looking. I was like, so you gave up after the first disappointment. How many of us have given up on the first disappointment? It may not have seemed like the first disappointment, but in reality, it was the first failure. It was the first time you really got kicked in the teeth. And you're like, I don't want to do this. No, that wasn't fun. But it's not the ones who win that never struggle. The ones who win are the ones that outlast struggle. I used to work with a guy I couldn't really stand, but he also used to say, the harder I work, the luckier I get. Because people would always say, oh man, you're so lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. John Maxwell said it, people want to do what I do, but people don't want to do what I did. They don't want to go through the struggle. They don't want to go through the strife. They don't want to go through the hard work. They don't want to put themselves in uncomfortable positions to meet the first American woman to race the Le Mans. Because they're afraid of failing. Well, if you keep showing up, are you always going to fail? I am 6'3", so I'm not a short man. When I was in 8th grade, I was 6'2". At 6'2", I was the second tallest kid in school, next to my best friend Kevin, who was 6'3". We tried out for the basketball team together. Kevin instantly placed on A team because he's athletic and he plays basketball at 6'3". And everyone's like, Dan, you're going to make the team right away because you're tall, right? I have everything genetically in my favor. I'm athletic. I'm tall. I've just never played basketball before. Mind you, I come from a wrestling football background, totally different movements. They put me on C team. The first game that we played for C team, I was the tallest person on the court by at least a foot, including the ref in 8th grade. I got kicked off the team because I came down and elbowed a kid in the face. Evidently, I'm a little too aggressive for the sport. But did I give up on sports? Did I give up? I'm a big dude, right? I give up? No. The coach came to me and says, you know what? I think you'd like track better. Here's a metal object, throw it as far as you can. I became pretty good at it. And then he said, you know what? Let's put you back into football. I think you'll like that too. He said, whatever you do, stay away from baseball, basketball, anything that takes coordination. You don't have it. And he was right. I don't. I am uncoordinated. I'm a lumbering giant, but I'm big, I'm fast, and I'm strong. I'm just not very balanced. So I could have given up. I could have been defeated because I felt like a total failure. I'm the second tallest kid in school, and I couldn't even make the basketball team. Well, it wasn't my fit. It didn't fit for me. So instead of giving up, we just found something else that would work. We found something else that would sing to my soul. It wasn't the struggle that's going to shut me down. It would be my own brain like, I can't do this. I've met agents that have in this business that say, I'm not a people person. Okay. There are agents in here that are completely people focused. 100% love to go out, be the life of the party, love to navigate every social situation, that are just naturally inclined for it. They're the 6'3" basketball all-star. They show up, get A team, get the praises because they just look good on paper. And then there's those of us who don't. That, you know what? You're a good-looking person, you're sociable, you can talk, you can do all these things. You should be successful in this. But you're not. So you think there's something wrong with me. No. Maybe the approach is different. Maybe the environment needs to be different. But don't give up. Look somewhere else. Keep showing up differently, right? If it scares you, try it. If it worries you, beat it. Just like Joanne did. I don't like networking and just hate networking, right? I'm the same, girl. I know I seem very gregarious and out there and outgoing and talking in public, but between me and Mikey, we walk into a group of people, he's talking to everybody. I'm not. I'm finding a way to get out. I don't like groups of people. Sometimes I just don't like people.
Same.
But it's okay. But sometimes we got to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. And in doing so, we connect some pretty crazy things, right? Don't give up. Show up. Because resilience is better than talent. Because Kevin, being 6'3" and the best basketball player ever, guess what? Sucked at football. And in high school, all the girls wanted to date a football player, not a basketball player. I'm sorry. If you played basketball, you sucked. Right? That was hashtag big guy era. I'm all about it. That was the thing. You don't have to be the smartest, the fastest, the tallest, the most connected. You just have to be the one that refuses to quit. Right? I have been around some pretty incredible people. Some of the biggest winners that you'll ever meet. And they all have that trait to them. It's grit. Kristen loves that word, grit. But these people all have that underlying grit. That no matter the goal they've set for themselves, they all had the underlying element that failure did not exist in this equation. Either I win or I learn. Either I do what I set out to do or I find a different path in life. Because if you continue to show up and you continue to show up and you continue to show up, are you going to find a way to make it work? You can't fail if you don't quit. How many marathons do they run every year? Like there's hundreds of marathons, bike races, marathons, triathlons, decadons, triceratons, all kinds of running events, biking events, hiking events. There's always these stories of that one person, the unlikely person that finished the race. And they get more publicity than the person that won the race. Why is that?
They're the underdog.
Tenacity.
The underdog. Audra, what was that?
Tenacity.
Tenacity, right? They're
Like that.
showcasing the American spirit. Jim?
It's like that movie Tin Cup, where the guy wins the open golf tournament, but this one guy with his tenacity kept trying to make this one hole and he made a 12 on the hole. And the gal says, nobody's gonna remember who won, but everybody's gonna remember your 12.
Yeah. That's the thing. No one's going to remember your failures. They're going to remember the fact you didn't give up. You didn't quit. Yeah, you might need to take a knee. You might need to get a breath, but don't give up. Mike, you just finished a race the other day, didn't you? You're a mountain race, first time doing it. You guys don't know Mike's a mountain bike racer. I don't know the exact title. He's a badass on two wheels. That's all it is. But one of the things I'll tell you is knowing Mikey for the last 6 years, and I've really been blessed by this relationship, is seeing him go out there and try things he's never done. He's got a passion for bikes. He loves to ride. He likes to be on two wheels, road bikes. Then he started to get into dirt bikes. Now it's like mountain bikes. Soon he'll just be riding mountains. I don't know how it evolves, but it's a crazy progression into how severe he does. But he's always finding himself, you know what? If I'd have done this, I could have been a little bit better. Or I found a way to cut 10 minutes off of my time, which would have placed me in the top 100 or top 10. It's sometimes he beats himself up, and I'll love him to death for it, but sometimes he's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just failing. And other times he takes a step back and goes, okay, this is what I did. This is where I was at. This is what I could have done better. Next time I'm going to use these pieces of knowledge to move forward. But the one thing I'll say is he's never given up. And he's done some pretty incredible races, like, inaugural races around. He started racing, he started creating crazy stuff, but never gave up.
It's easier to ride back than walk back.
That's a great line. Write that down. Right? It's easier to ride back than walk back. And he was telling me, he was talking about this a couple days when we were talking, is there's this mountain run. It's like halfway up the mountain or something like that. It's like, or all the way up the mountain's the halfway point, and then you're back down the other side. And how many people never even made it to the halfway point?
Oh yeah, no, it was so it was a 9.5 mile climb, and about mile 3 or 4, I seen people coming down. It's a 25 mile. That course was 25 miles, and about mile 3, 4, people are already coming down. They just didn't even go the climb. And for me, that was one of the biggest things about that event. I'm not a good climber. I used to be, like back in 2012, and then I stopped riding, so I got weak again. But that was really the biggest part. I was looking forward to the event, was to do the climb. I knew I could do the downhill. That's fun. That's party time. But the climb was going to be the challenge. I was planning to do 2 Mount Lemmon rides the 2 weeks prior, but didn't work in my schedule. So it was just like, we'll just show up and we'll just keep going. May not be the fastest, but I know I can do it. So
At any point when you saw those other riders coming back down, did you feel dejected?
no, actually, I didn't realize that they were coming back down. Like, calling it a day.
Prematurely? They gave up?
What's that?
They gave up, so you didn't see that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know why they were coming down or whatever, whatever reasons. I was just stoked to be part of it and just continue going. Because it was, I mean, very rarely on a mountain bike do we get in the lowest gear, and it was probably 5 miles of low gear. Just a constant grind. But my head wasn't throbbing. I wasn't gonna pass out. I wasn't gonna puke. I actually became pretty acclimated like I said, within that first 3 to 4 miles, which any other time I've ridden an elevation, it's been a puke, head throbbing, can't breathe, heart rate spike.
Gotta love oxygen sickness.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sickness, yeah.
So,
But here's the value there, guys. Is like, he saw people coming back down the mountain, and you could easily say, oh shit, they're already back down. Like, they're already beating me. I'm so far behind, I should give up now. But he's like, no, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm on my own path. I'm on my own journey. I don't care what they're doing. He didn't realize that they were giving up until he'd already passed where they never went. How many of you compare others' success to yourself? Like, oh, they're already doing this or already doing that. When in reality, they gave up. That they really didn't go as far as you're going. Maybe the bar seems so out of reach because you're constantly moving it forward.
Dude, this is super vulnerable, but anytime I see like anybody I know get a listing like anywhere above like 600,000, I'm like, oh, they're a better agent than me, you know? And I've done double the production they've done. But that's like my, full vulnerability. That's my initial mindset is, oh man, they're way better than me.
Yeah, because comparison is where we kill ourselves in this, guys. Go back to it's your journey, it's your path. Resiliency beats talent every day. I think it's Nick Saban that said this is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And a lot of people rest on their laurels. And a lot of people sit back and go, you know what? I'm pretty. I'll get the job. Or like 6'2" Dan in 8th grade, I'm tall. I'm going to make the team. Not realizing I should probably take some time to learn some of these drills. I should probably take the time to become a basketball player and not just I'm tall. There's a lot more that goes into success than the physical element. It's a lot more up here.
One other thing to add to that climb. So I was in the third wave. There was 3 waves that took off 15 minutes apart. By mile 5, like I said, I'm not a strong climber. But mile 5, we were catching the tail end of the second wave. So we made up 15 minutes within 5 miles on a climb. And that was honestly probably the motivating factor. And it was just fun at that point because it's like, cool, I'm catching people that have done this event before and everything like that. But the reason why I bring it up is because I apply that to business, life, everything in general. It's no secret that I've been having a struggle since November of last year for all the reasons that are going on. But just you got to keep going because you got to find those little victories of where you're gaining ground and just keep moving.
Yeah, winners keep getting up. Mikey, have you fallen on your bike? Have you crashed?
Well, I crashed 4 times that day.
Yeah, I know that there was a race you did here in Tucson, and multiple times you're talking about the skids and the stops and the falls. But what do winners do? Do they stay down? No, they get up. You lose. You have a bad month? Get up. Got a bad day? Get up. Lost a client? Get up. Shit happens. If you're feeling burnt out, rest, but get up. I have been dealing with a headache since Saturday afternoon. I have a pinched nerve somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I can't work it out. Excruciating headache for the last 36 hours so far. But I can't stop what I'm doing. I have to work through it. And when I've got some time, I'm going to go back and get it fixed. We're working on some stuff. Do I get to just throw my hands up and give up? No. You're going to have to work through some stuff. You're going to have to work uncomfortably. You're going to have to make phone calls and conversations that you don't want to do. But then you're going to find yourself on the heels of those who are better than you. And you'll soon find out you're doing more than they are. And then you're going to find that fun volley because life is very much up and down, up and down, up and down. And as we truck at the top of that hill, remember, you're little Thomas the engine, right? What's Thomas say? Nobody?
I think I can.
I think I can. I think
I can.
I think I can. Right? It's such a dumb thing to think about as an adult, but somewhere between 7 years old and now, you have given up on that belief that you can do whatever you want to do.
What did Gary say? Either you think you can or you think you can't, but you're right.
That was Henry Ford.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Henry Ford. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So why are we saying stuff like, this is going to be so tough. It's going to be so hard. My sister called me last week. This is a real tough situation we're going through. My sister has been in the hospital now for 7 days. She had a really bad foot surgery last year that has just been compounding, getting worse and worse and worse. And now she's back in. She was admitted because her foot's about this big and it's swollen, it's infected, and the surgeon says it's a high likelihood you're going to lose your foot. Now, if anyone ever has to go through that conversation, trust in the Lord, trust in your life. But I'll tell you, my sister called me because you're the most positive person I know, Dan. And I need you to make me smile right now. But I'm also a realist. If you guys don't know this, I am optimistically real. It is what it is. My sister called me and she says, I need you to help me smile right now. I'm freaking out. And I said, why? And she tells me, she's like, this is the first I've heard that she's in the hospital. My family is not that tight knit where we know everything about each other. It's kind of distant. But my sister calls me, she's freaking out. My sister is the only person on earth that FaceTimes me. So I hear my FaceTime alarm. Oh, it's my sister's calling. So I answer it because it's very rare she calls me. I said, what's going on? And she tells me all this stuff and she's freaking out. She's crying. She's teared up. And I said, Joe, don't worry about it. It is going to be what it's going to be. She goes, Daniel, what if they take my foot? I was like, then we'll get you a cool new one. I think Amazon has them on special. Shit, tell the doctor to take both of them so we can get you a matching pair.
Okay.
Makes the pirate outfit for Halloween a lot more authentic.
And she was laughing and joking at this, but it's like, it's the tragedy around it is no matter how bad the situation is, no matter how unlikely you are to make it through unscathed, it is what it is. But I'll tell you that quitting is the only thing that ends the dream. Quitting is the only thing that will possibly make it worse. I told my sister, I was like, Joe, the surgery is going to be fine. They're going to open your foot up. They're going to clean. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's going to be one of the worst things you've ever experienced in your life. But in 5 years from now, it won't be that big of a deal. Next week, when you're in recovery, it won't be that big of a deal. Tomorrow, when you wake up from surgery and they tell you all the great things or bad things that happened, right now it won't be that big of a deal. And she came out of surgery 4.5 hours later and she called me. She FaceTimed me from the recovery room. She is loopy-doopy on all the drugs in the world. She's just smiling and laughing. And the first thing I asked her, what do you think it was? You got both feet?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, you're an asshole. But then she turned her camera around and showed me that she had both feet. She said the doctor said it wasn't nearly as bad as they thought.
Oh, good.
And I was like, Jody, this is just like anything else in life.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be scary. It's going to be life altering. I don't know how I'm going to make it through. But if you see it is what it is. No matter what it is, I'm going to make it through. Because that's a winner's mentality. I'm not going to give up. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care what the problem is. If you have a goal in life and you constantly show up for it, if you stay in the game, you stay in the fight. Because progress stacks, momentum compounds, and the grind keeps you moving. So, no matter where you're at, don't give up. Keep moving forward. If you're not where you want to be, maybe pedal harder. Because remind yourself, you're not failing, you're forming. As long as you don't quit, life can't beat you. Because honestly, you're closer than you know. Because success is literally on the other side of this really bad monumental moment in your life that you can't see a way through.
And every moment's a lesson for improvement.
Everything. Either you win or you learn. I believe in it. This life in real estate, you can't fail if you don't quit. Just like my sister. She's still fighting. She's in the hospital. I got to call her right now and check on her. But honestly, last week, she could not see a way forward out of this. She didn't know how she was going to live her life. We dropped off her laptop at the hospital, and now she's working from the hospital. when 2 days ago she's like, I'm going to lose my job. No, you're not. So we just brought her laptop to her. Now she's working from the hospital. There's literally nothing. And I don't care how tough the situation is that you can't find a way through. If you got breath in your lungs, a pulse in your heart, and a belief in your head, that's all you need. Find the right people to surround yourself with makes it a whole lot easier. So I'm pretty excited about being around you guys because there's a lot of winners here. We're all fighting different battles, but we're all going to win
Yeah.
together. Was today worth your time?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.